Hello everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name is James and today we're doing another locomotive review. This time we're looking at the Railworks Class 24 diesel locomotive, which is a rather small yet powerful diesel loco. However, let's get all the boring stuff out of the way. However, I can't tell you the product code for this one because it does come from a train set. However, for the latest BR Blue Class 24, it is 372975A for the Class 24 -1 diesel. It has the running number of 24064 in BR Blue, and it would be the actually have a quick look. It is DCC6 fitted, so yes, basically exactly the same as this, but a different running number. And yeah, I would assume it does come with all the same things as this one. So we have the detail pack, which has lots and lots of route indicator discs. So that's very nice to see. And also has some pipework and also some fake couplings to stick on the ends, and also some extra pipes as well. So nice to have. It does also have it has the product guarantee, which we won't have a look at because nobody reads that. And we have the product information sheet, which has the exposure diagram over here, has information on all the header codes and all that lot. And on the other side, it does tell you about DCC fitting, which is quite simple. Running in, which is an hour in each direction by half-hour work. It is suitable for 12 radius, best performed on 12-inch radius curves. It will run on 9-inch. Body removal, basically carefully lift it up with your finger underneath. Lubrication, basically anything which moves, oil it with a very little amount of oil, and how to fit all the buffer beam parts. So that's pretty much all of that lot. And now we get to see how heavy this thing weighs. So let me just turn this on. There we go. And it is 72.2 grams. So as I say, a touch under 3 Mark 1 coaches. Anyway, on to the more interesting part of all the little extra features that this thing has. It does have directional lighting, however, I'm not entirely sure if it does have front directional lighting. It may just be that since I was running on DC, when I last tested it, it doesn't quite show up unless you put it on full whack. And I didn't really want it to go all the way that fast. To remove the body, it's basically, like I said, thumb underneath the body and carefully lift up. As you can see, it carefully lifts up. Then do the same on the other side. Let's see. That's all. Let's have a look. It does have an end pocket, so it's always nice to see. Doesn't have any traction tires, but it does have all-wheel pickup and all-wheel drive. So always good to see. End detail glazing, nice to see. Well, always important to see. It does have window wipers, which are very bit difficult to see, but they are there. Does have the usual molded detail, which you should expect. And also tamper printing does look very nice and clean. Livery is, well, it's going to be basic because it's going to be BR blue with full yellow ends. But the printing is very nice. The detail work, well, the molded detail work is it does stand out quite well. Even this little grilling, even the little grills on the actual grill parts, you can feel that they are there. And also you do have nice rivets everywhere as well. So very nice. And on the other side, more grills and things like that, and access panels. These aren't separately fitted handrails from what I can tell, but they are nicely painted out in white, so they do stand out quite nicely. Underframe detail is also picked out quite nicely as well. Obviously underneath it'll be completely basic, apart from saying Backman made in China. But obviously we won't be looking underneath there all that often. The sanding boxes do look quite nice as well. Am I missing one on that side? This is a pre-owned one, so it does look like this one is missing a bit, but other than that, yeah, it looks quite nice. It does, due to its size, it does feel quite weighty in the hands, even though this isn't much heavier than some other diesel locomotives, but just due to its size, it does feel weighty. And let's see, and there is a bit of cab detail. Very little, but it is very small windows, so it's very difficult to see, so they probably didn't put too much detail in there. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. No. So other than one missing bit of detail on its bogie, was it? It was this one. Other than that, but that's due to it being second hand. Yeah, it's quite a nice engine. So yeah, let me get it onto a turntable so you can have a closer look at it, and then we can get it onto the layout and see how well it hauls my test rake of 8 Mark 1 coasters. So I'll see you in a bit, and also tell you a bit more about the prototype. So see you in a sec. The British Railways Class 24 diesel locomotives, also known as the Sleazer Type 2, were built from 1958 to 1961. 151 were built at Derby, Crewe and Darlington, and the first 20 of them were part of the British Railways 1955 modernisation plan. Initial deliveries were for operation in the Crewe and Derby areas, but 15 of the initial 20 were diverted for use on the southern region to cover for delays in the Kent Coast electrification scheme. Here the heavy weight was not acceptable, and the locos in question had to have their boilers removed before they were accepted. Later, some locos had their boilers refitted, and these examples could be found often in tandem with a Class 33 to provide steam heating to the coaches, with the 33s only having electric train heating. As deliveries continued, allocations were made to both the London Midland region and Eastern region, and with the class becoming familiar to crews and staff around London, they were used on the freight trains over the Metropolitan widened lines. Locos so used being fitted with London Transport tripcogs, although these were removed after closure of this route in 1971. Locos allocated to East Anglia for use on freight soon became redundant due to the rundown of freight in that region, and these were in turn moved to Wales and Lancashire. The very last Class 24 to be withdrawn from operational service was 24081 in 1980, although 67 of the 151 class members were cut up at Swindon Works on the Western region, an area which had never received an allocation of Class 24s. Despite many of the class falling to the cutter's torch, 4 were saved and remain in preservation, including 24081, which is currently at Gloucestershire Warwickshire Steam Railway. Right, here we are, the Class 24 now on my layout, and as you can see I've also got my 8 Mark 1 coaches ready to be tested, but first of all let's test the slow speed. We'll mention that this is under DC, so it may operate slightly differently under DCC. And that coupling isn't in properly. Is it now? We'll find out in a moment. Anyway, let's test how slow it can go with DC. That's not too bad. You do need to get it a little bit of power just to get it started. And in reverse, yeah, just need that little bit of power just to get it started, but then you can get it quite slow. Quite happy with that. Well, making sure it is on there properly, and there's a hair. Anyway, let's give it a run around the layout. That seems like a decent speed. There's the directional lighting, which you may or may not be able to see. I'll have a quick look over here for it. There it is, a little bit. Unfortunately, the lights are making it a bit difficult to see. And one more run. There, you can just about see them. and putting it to a stop in a moment. So if it gets around the corner. Right, there we go. I'm going to have a quick look at that. Yeah, that coupling is in now. Nope, that's not on properly. There we go. Right, I'm going to put it a little bit forward. There we go. And here is my 8 Mark 1 coaters, each one 25 grams. So this is a whole weight of 200 grams of coaters, which is about, well, this is about 73 grams if I'm 72 point something, but we'll just go with 73, make numbers a bit easier. So 3 of these is one of them. So 1, 2, it's nearly 3 times its weight. I'm going to say it's at least definitely 2.5 times the weight of the Class 24. So it should be a nice test. So let me just put it in reverse and see how well coupling goes. That was a nice solid couple. Let's make sure it seems to be holding on. So let's see if it does 8 Mark 1 coaters up a very slight incline as well. This has no tracks and tyres. So it's all about how well it can pull the slot. And it doesn't seem to have any issues. Maybe a very tiny bit of slowdown. Very nice look. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be having any issues whatsoever, so let's give it one more victory lap. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any slowdown whatsoever. And let me bring it to a stop now. Bit of a sudden stop, but it stopped. But yeah, that was quite nice actually. Quite impressed with it. Now, main important thing, the price. I can only tell you the price of the new one, which isn't actually that bad. It's, well, if you get it directly from Bachmann, or Graham Press, it's about 150, but in most retailers, it'd actually be around one. Cheapest I've seen is 127, but probably around 130 is the asking price, which is, it doesn't actually seem all that bad really. So 130, bit more due to inflation compared to this one, but yeah, I would say that's actually a good bargain. Now it's a nice little engine, it could probably fit everywhere on your layout. It's, as far as I remember, it's it's quite widely used. However, I do know it didn't have quite as long as a life as intended. I think it got phased out. I think it was the 80s, I think, if I remember right. So, yeah. Nice little engine. And it does come in a very wide range of liveries. As you have BR Blue, you have BR Green in 2-tone. And there's also that... I think there's that the testing lab one, which has a dark blue and a very dark red livery. And I think there may be 1 or 2 other liveries, I'm not entirely sure. But it's still a very nice engine, and I would recommend it if you can find a space for it. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. Do let me know what you think. So yeah, do you like it? Do you not like it? Can you not be bothered with it? Let me know. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. So that's it for me, and that's it from the Class 24, and I'm going to send it off on its way. So goodbye, and I'll see you again next time. So take care now. Bye bye. Alright, there it goes. Bye bye now.